Good morning, students. We are going to see our first lesson, that is the living world, adaptation and classification. So let's recall. Now you will be thinking about what is meant by adaptation. This is the new word for you. And what is meant by classification. Classification in Marathi we can say as vargikaran. But what is related or what is the actual definition about adaptation we are going to study now. Now let's recall, in what different ways is the diversity in living things seen? The question can be said again as, in what different ways is the variety in living things seen? Now diversity means variety. Now you people can see in your surrounding also. You can see buffalo, you can see crow, you can see the sparrow, you can see rose plant, you can see hibiscus, you can see many other different plants also, many types of animal, many types of reptiles, many types of small creatures. They all you can see in them that there is a great variety. A great variety of plants is found on earth. Some plants have colorful flowers. Now we agree to this sentence that most of the plants, if you observe, there are variety of colors between them. Some plants grow in water, whereas some are found to be in desert. Now some plants grow in water. We know the famous one, that is lotus. It is floating on water. But the other plants such as cactus, it is been seen in a desert area where the surrounding or the temperature or the region is hot and humid, which have a scarcity of water. Scarcity means lack of water, shortage of water. Some plants are found in only snowy regions. Now some trees, if you consider, like pine, like deodar, they are only found in the snowy areas. Some plants cannot be seen without a microscope, whereas some are huge in size. Now we know that microorganisms, you are all familiar with this word micro. Micro means small, organisms means small creatures. These microorganisms you can find and you cannot see them by your naked eyes. Naked eyes means your open eyes. You can only see them in a microscope. Whereas some are huge in size, such as elephant. You don't require any of the microscope or anything for that particular animal to see. Like plants, animals also show the variety. Diversity means variety. Some are unicellular, others are multicellular. Now, in 6th standard we have studied what is meant by unicellular. Unicellular means the one or the living organism which consists single cell. And multicellular means the organism which consists of many cells. Some are vertebrates. Vertebrates means one who consists of vertebral column, whereas others are invertebrates. This world is full of variety of animals such as aquatic, terrestrial, amphibian, reptilian and aerial. One by one we will see. Aquatic means the one which stay in water. Terrestrial means the one who only lives on land or survive on land. Amphibians are the one who have both the characteristics of both the properties to survive in on particularly in water also and on land also. Reptilian means the one who crawl. Aerial means the one who lives on tree, etc. This observation gives rise to the question, how did this great diversity come into being? Now you all will be thinking, who was the first one to invent this all? So we will study in this whole lesson what actually the answer is. Now they have asked you one question. Are the plants and animals from Kashmir and Rajasthan of same type? Do you agree to this sentence? Are they of same type? If you ask me, I will say no. Because the area where actually the Kashmir, if you see, it is literally like it is a snowy area. Or the one which the temperature present over there, it is really cool. But if you consider about Rajasthan, it is a hot humid area. Can you elaborate on any differences between the two? We can see there are varieties, or you can see the differences in the plants, in animals, the living or the way the people live over there, the way the people dress over there, etc. Now we will go further. Coniferous trees like pine and deodar flourish in snowy regions like Kashmir. Now the trees like pine and deodar, you can see these words or the trees pine and deodar in Google, or you can search for the pictures. They have been seen in Kashmir. However, in deserts of Rajasthan, plants like cactus and acacia, that is called as babul, are to be found. If possible, I will try to give you the pictures of this particularly the plants. Cactus means all we know that. We have also seen over here It is a plant in which it is literally thorny like. The camel, which is a desert plant, we all know that the camel is usually found in Rajasthan or the place where it is hot and humid. Normally in Rajasthan only. It is not found in Kashmir. Camel you can see over there, but you cannot see camel in particularly the Kashmir. What is the reason behind these differences? Now you should understand one thing. Camel can survive in the conditions where there is scarcity of water. The place or the temperature required for his body, it is actually present in it, in particularly present in Rajasthan, but it is not actually present in Kashmir. So we will see now what are actually lesson which is adaptation means. Adaptation, the gradual change. Gradual means it goes on slowly. It is a long process. It is not like today this, another next day different. The gradual change, which is step by step, occurs in a body parts and also in the behavior of an organism, which helps them to adjust in the surrounding. Such changes are called to be as adaptation. I'll little modify this. The gradual change which take place in a body parts of a living organism, which help them to adjust in the surrounding, such changes are said to be as adaptation. If possible, I'll little elaborate also. Now, what I mean by gradual change and what is actually the behavior of an organism. Gradual means slow process. If tomorrow if you ask me to go somewhere other place, if I went to Kashmir, immediately the next day I am not going to adjust over there. First few days I will feel sick. I will face the problem of my eating stuff, everything. So what I have told you, the gradual change which take place in a body parts means my body is going to get adjusted in that surrounding, and when I will be adjusted in that surrounding, it takes not only along with me but also my body parts are also changing, means not changing, you can say they are adjusting in that surrounding. Such changes are said to be as adaptation. They take place over a long period of time. Now you can understand lotus. Lotus is having certain characteristics. Lotus, the leaves are waxy. That particular creation or that creation is made in such a way so that that particular plant cannot go down inside the water. It is supposed to float on water. The stems of lotus are hollow. Hollow means there are air sacs or the air which can allow and which can give the stamina for that particular plant to survive in that water. Now we are going to study about adaptations in plant. Now see, there is given particular chart is given to you. First I have told you about plant, then is habitat. Now habitat means we can say in simple words home, type of root, characteristics of leaves, characteristics of stem. Now this chart only can be completed as we complete our particularly the adaptation in plants, which concept is that after that. So we will keep this pending, we will go further. Adaptation in aquatic plant. Now aquatic plants, like you know that lotus is one of the aquatic plant. You can search more examples for aquatic plants also. So we will go further. There is also water lily plant which also survive in water. Some of the aquatic plants are firmly rooted in the soil at bottom of the water bodies. So you can understand one thing, some of the plants or some of the aquatic plants, aquatic means I am telling you the one which survive in water. These plants, the root of these plants are firmly particularly rooted inside the soil, water which is present in the bottom of the water bodies. Their stems are submerged while leaves and flowers float on the surface. You can see that the roots in the particular picture also it is clearly been seen that the roots are inside that particularly the surface of land which is present below the water surface, and the leaves and the flowers are floating on it. However, some plants are entirely afloat. Their roots are not anchored in the soil. Anchored means what? You can see that when you plant a particular small of the particular plant inside the soil, the roots go inside it go deep inside it. But here the roots of these particularly aquatic plants are not going to get more anchored inside that. The surfaces of the leaves and the stems of the aquatic plants are covered with a waxy layer. Now, can anyone tell or can anyone think about it? Why this actually waxy layer is present? We all are familiar about the wax. If you put a one drop of water also on that wax, it is not going to get still over it. It moves. Same way, some of the plants or some of the leaves we observe during rainy season also. Some leaves they hold the water, but some leaves they don't hold the water for a second. Immediately the water comes from up, it goes down. Leaves of some aquatic plants are thin and slender like a ribbon. Slender means very thin like a ribbon. This shape helps them to withstand fast of water currents. Air spaces in the stems and petioles of the aquatic plants are useful for floating in water. If you see the stem which is present there and the stem and the small branches which connect the flowers, they give them the power to stand in that water for a long period of time. The air spaces which are present in the stem which makes it so hollow so that it can float easily in the water. I hope this part is clear for you all. We'll go further. Now they have asked you few questions. Use your brain power. Why does water trickle off lotus leaves? Simple. We have just now studied because lotus leaves consist of waxy layer. Water trickle off from the lotus leaves. Why don't the leaves of the plants rot in the water? Now waxy layer they don't allow water to stay on it, so there are less chances that particularly, or you can say that these plants are not going to rot inside the water. And third question, why are their roots short and fibrous? Fibrous and tap roots are the two types of root which you have seen, and you can see that why their roots are short. First thing, the roots are submerged inside the water body. This is the first reason. And second reason, you can clearly observe in the picture, they are floating on the water. That is the main part, that these roots are short and they are fibrous. Now we are going to see, first now we have seen that adaptation of aquatic plants. Now we will see adaptation in desert plants. They have told you to take two potted plants, one of cactus and other a leafy plant. Tie a plastic bag loosely around the leaves of these plants and keep them in the sunlight from the early in the morning. In the afternoon, bring those pots in the classroom and observe them. Has the same quantity of water collected in both the bags? Do you think the water has been collected the same way? Now these plants which have been shown in the picture, you have almost seen them. You can see the thorn-like structure present to them. Now can you tell, has the same quantity of water been collected? Now we will study further. Desert plants are either leafless or their leaves are small like needles or have been modified into thorn. What they have told over here, see, desert plants are either leafless. First thing, they don't consist of leaf, or if they consist also, they are having a small needles or have been modified into thorns. That leaves have been modified into thorns. As a result, they lose water very little during the evaporation process. Now evaporation means, I'll just revise this concept, the process in which water with the help of sunlight, it is getting converted into water vapor. That process is said to be as evaporation. And during evaporation process, the water from the plants, it goes out very little. The stem stores the water and food and is therefore fleshy. You can see the particularly cactus, a part of it is literally fleshy. Other leaves, they are very thin like, but this one actually they are not having the leaf, but they are having, if they are having the leaf, they have been modified into the thorns. So that's why the reason is they consist of water and food inside them, and therefore they are fleshy. The stems are green and they perform photosynthesis in absence of the leaves. Now photosynthesis means the process in which a plants make their own food. Now during the absence of leaves, these stems only do the process of photosynthesis. Their roots penetrate deep into the soil and some roots spread away into the soil in such a way in the search of water. Now in above we have seen that above particularly adaptation in aquatic plants, the roots are not totally submerged, they are not going deep inside the soil. But over here the desert plants, their roots go deep inside. Penetrate means they go more deep inside the surface of land and they go in search of water. There is a thick layer of waxy substance on the stems of this plant. They also consist of waxy substance on the stems of plant. Now can you tell me one thing? Now you will be thinking, teacher, what is adaptation present over here? Now if you see about the lotus plant have adjusted itself in such a way it can survive in water first. Now what characteristic it contains? It consists of a waxy layer which allows it to, or which allows that water will not stay up on the leaves. Therefore the leaves will be in good condition. Second, the stain which is present, it consists of air sac, and because of that air spaces, particularly the lotus plant can be still and it can stay in for a long period of time in that water. Now first two pages are completed over here. I hope you have understood this. Next two pages will be discussed later. Thank you.